Welcome back to Hermiting with Holly and Susan, and here we are again.
And I have a question this time.
Holly has a question.
Well, not really a question, but it's something to ponder.
Okay.
So, we were just talking about the pandemic, so I feel that this makes a real nice move over to this. How about comfort foods? The other day, I don't eat crackers often. Himself is a cracker in his soup kind of guy. I am not that. But my mom used to take saltines and butter them. And
yes.
Oh, yeah, buttered saltines.
Yes.
And I had some super thick saltines that I had picked up, and I wanted to use them. And I put some butter on a little plate of them. And it was like comfort food. And it's not a comfort food that I often think of, and it's not something I often have. But I was immediately thinking of my mom. And so today, I obviously started a trend. My mom, bless her heart, was not a great cook.
Yeah.
She had some dishes that were good. She had many that were not. But the one thing she and my grandmother always had was cream of tomato soup, Campbell's. And I've tried other tomato soups, and I know that canned soups are not in anymore. But it was always cream of Campbell's tomato soup on noodles. Some little shell or elbow, and that always makes me think of them. So that's what I actually just had for lunch, and I thought, oh, perfect subject.
There you go.
For our Hermiting with Holly and Susan. So what is something that goes beyond comfort food, something that takes you beyond comfort food to a specific point in time? That's something that brings a memory with it. That reminds you of somebody.
I have been indulging in comfort foods way too much since this pandemic started. It's kind of sad. Soft-boiled eggs, believe it or not.
Okay.
When I was young, I used to go and do sleepovers at my grandmother's house, and she was the one, generally speaking, who would make soft-boiled eggs for me. So soft-boiled eggs are my grandma's kitchen, and it was a tiny little kitchen, and like it had a table in it and everything. And like if somebody got up and tried to walk, like everybody else had to pull their chairs in. And my grandmother was not a very good cook either. She could manage soft-boiled eggs. And you know what? That's actually harder than it seems to get to do them just right.
I always told my kids I felt that they needed to leave the house with one. You didn't have to be a great cook, but you had to have one thing skill you could make if somebody came to your house. So you could make soft-boiled eggs. I feel that that's a viable.
My mom would make them for me as well, and those were very, that was a comfort food kind of a thing. And another one is pastina. Now I married into an Italian family, and pastina is a childhood comfort food if you grow up in an Italian family.
I never heard of it.
Oh, it is really wicked good too. Pastina is a very, very fine pasta, almost like, speaking of Campbell's soup, when I was a small kid, we used to do chicken and stars.
Right.
Okay, with the little stars. So it's kind of like that, only even smaller. And generally speaking, we would put like salt and butter in the pastina. And it's a very good baby food too for little ones because it's very easy. It's, soft and mashable. And so pastina is another one.
Never heard of that, but in terms of just noodles and butter.
Oh yes.
Mom always did that.
Egg noodles. Yeah, egg noodles. We would do
egg noodles, but pretty much any kind of noodle. But I bought myself a couple of years back a Spetzel press. I've
never done that. Mm-mm.
Oh, and now you can do it. And before I bought it, I checked many ways. You can do it like just over a grater. You take the flour, however you make your noodle dough, and just run it over the grater, over the boiling water, and get it that way. But I bought an actual press, and it's a little cup with holes in it, but it's got a super big axis on it. So when you torque it down, it will take a thicker dough and not break the press. And it's one of those things that like once you've made it, I'm like, how did I live my life without Spetzel? I don't know. It's delicious.
I've never had it, so I'll have to try that sometime.
Okay. after the pandemic.
Yeah, when I can come over to your house again.
Remind me, and I will make you some spetzel. And now you can do, if you go to Germany, they make it with like a brown sauce, like just a pan gravy.
Like a gravy. Yeah, okay.
And I think that would be good. But for me, just the spetzel with some butter, salt, and pepper. Oh, delicious.
See, now, and I think of the whole Thanksgiving meal as also a comfort food, the whole thing, all of it. I want all of it. I want turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing, and it has to be homemade stuffing. It has to be the stuffing recipe.
I think we should make that a whole episode after.
Okay,
Let's
we'll
talk stuffing.
go next. Okay,
so the next one will be about stuffing. So when you're watching this, we're going to do it right away, but this will be next week.
Who knows? Or it might even be after Thanksgiving by the time we roll this out. But anyway, okay. All right.
We'll see you next time.